a robust and reliable security solution that empowers individuals and businesses to navigate the digital world with confidence. Join Kike Lomo-Okere on Global Television as she brings you happenings in Nigeria's security organizations.
Hello and welcome to Security Matters. It's a program that highlights the activities of the Nigerian military and its sister service. I am Kike Lomo-Okere. Troops of Operation Wild Stroke have recorded major breakthrough in the fight against insecurity in Benue and Taraba states, rescuing 657 kidnapped victims and neutralizing 124 armed criminals within the last 12 months. Force Commander Operation Wild Stroke, Major General Moses Dara, who was represented by the commander of 401 Special Forces Brigade, Brigadier General Kolawole Bukoye, disclosed this while briefing defense correspondents during a fact-finding media tour of the operations of area of responsibility. Let's take a listen at the report. Force Commander Operation Wild Stroke, Major General Moses Gara, who was represented by the commander of 401 Special Forces Brigade, Brigadier General Kolawole Bukoye, outlined sustained offensive operations, intelligence-driven raids, and constant troops presence as key factors behind the success recorded against banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and communal violence. He says the period under review witnessed several clearance operations, cordon and search mission, and aggressive patrols, leading to the rescue of abducted victims from the criminal hideouts and the recovery of arms, ammunition, and logistics. According to him, these efforts have significantly degraded criminal networks and boosted public confidence, with community previously abandoned now experiencing gradual return of social and economic activities.
Narrative about Benue State. Yes, there's no geopolitical zone in Nigeria without its flaws. But I can assure you that Benue State is above relatively peaceful. Yes, we have our skirmishes here and there. We have bandits within the environment. We have those with bad intents. But Benue State is above relatively calm now. To their ancestral homes, it's a gradual process. There has to be certainty on the ground. And people need to be told the truth. The narrative has to change. The mindset has to change. It's not in our own place. We are supposed to bring peace. But you see, the mindset of the people too need to change. So on behalf of the Force Commander, Major General M.K. Gara, Force Commander Operation Wild Stroke, and my brigade, I want to thank you most sincerely for finding us worthy to visit us, to come to Benue. If I had known on time, because I was a well-known official, at least even if it's yam. But it's never too late. Maybe by tomorrow you get, even if it's a small yam, that you take back home. But once again, I want to thank you most sincerely for taking our time out of your busy schedules to visit us and to endure.
Brigadier General Bukoye noted that areas such as Yewata community have fully regained normalcy, describing the security situation as stable and peaceful. Defense correspondents on the tour also observed calm across the area, with farmers returning to their farmlands under the watch of the security forces. The military high command reaffirmed its commitment to sustain the gains, assuring continued collaboration with other security agencies, traditional institutions, and local communities.
I took over command of 401 Special Forces Brigade 3 days after Yelwata incident. Yelwata right now is peaceful. We're still waiting on the government to put 1 or 2 things in place so that people can fully be integrated back into the society. But life in Yelwata is very, very normal. People go to farms with the military patrol, they come back with the military patrol. There's no threat in Yelwata. You can spend the night in Yelwata if you wish, or spend the night and probably have some barbecue. But Yelwata is peaceful. Yelwata is peaceful. And like you said, there were a lot of stories about Yelwata. I won't tell you because I was not on ground when it happened. I got here 3 days after. But I think we should believe those on ground. But I want to tell you, 200 people did not die. Because the entire Yelwata is not to that amount. Thank you.
Thank you. The media tour, initiated by the Chief of Defence Staff, General Olufemi Oloyede, is aimed at providing the public with accurate first-hand reports on security operations across the country. The Nigerian Army criminal strongholds inside the Ajali forest in Ezeagu local government area of Enugu State, dealing a major blow to armed groups that had turned the forest into a hub of terror and insecurity. The commanding officer of 103 Battalion, Major Mohammed Buhari Abdurrahman, says the operation targets members of the indigenous people of Biafra, the Eastern Security Networks, and other criminal elements operating within the forest. Let's take a listen to the report. Acting on credible intelligence, troops of the 103 Battalion launched a coordinated security operations targeting criminal and terrorist elements operating across the forest corridor linking to Enugu and Anambra State. The area had long been exploited as a hideout for violent groups, strengthening surrounding communities. The operation, which commenced on December 30, 2025, has so far led to the clearance of 8 criminal camps. Troops safely donated improvised explosive device, recovered arms and ammunition, including nearly 200 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, and arrested 2 suspected members of the indigenous people of Biafra. The suspects are currently in the military custody for further investigation. The commanding officer of the 103 Battalion, Major Mohammed Buhari Abdurrahman, says security forces have now entered the consolidation phase of the operation. Heavy equipment have been deployed to open up the forest, destroy escape routes, and permanently deny criminals the cover they once exploited. The exercise is also aimed at reclaiming the lands for legitimate activities, including farming and community use.
Successful detonation of all the improvised explosive devices that were put to slow our advance, which was successfully detonated. We also neutralized and recovered arms and ammunition. About 197 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammo were recovered, and 50 cartridges. We also arrested 2 of the IPOB members whom are currently under detention and are providing vital information aiding our operations.
The chairman of Ezeagu local government area, Vita, Dr. Vita Ndo, confirmed that the operation has significantly improved security across Ezeagu. A joint effort involving the military, police, and the Department of State Service was launched after reports of armed groups occupying large swaths of forest land and spreading fear among residents. The local government reports a peaceful period with no record incidents of kidnapping or violent attacks, even during the festive season. The residents have been urged to remain alert and support security agencies with timely information to sustain the gains recorded.
In terms of the peaceful environment, there was no threat. The environment was very peaceful, because the presence of the military actually drove them away. We enjoyed the festive period It was peaceful. There was no intimidation. There was no criminal attack. There were no kidnappings within the festive period. People who returned stayed and enjoyed themselves and then traveled back freely.
With criminal camps dismantled and key routes opened up, the Ajali Forest operation marks a decisive step towards restoring lasting peace in Isiagu and surrounding communities, signaling the military resolve to deny criminal groups and safe haven. Kike Lomo Okeri. The Nigerian Army says sustained military pressure of communities in Benue State, restoring relative peace to area once notorious for frequent killings. Commanding Officer COAS Intervention Battalion 11, Lieutenant Colonel Donatus Otobo says the battalion has achieved about 80% security control across its area of responsibility since deployment in July 2025. Let's take a listen at the report. Speaking with defense correspondent on a media tour at the battalion's forward operating base in Tachu local government area of Benue State, Lieutenant Colonel Otobo disclosed that troops encounter over 10 bandit attacks on their first day entering the area, but aggressive patrols, day and night ambushes and coordinated operation have since neutralized criminal presence in Guma and Yelwata communities. He says Yelwata, once a flashpoint, has remained inaccessible to bandits since troops established dominance, forcing criminal fleeing pressure from Nasarawa state border communities to retreat.
That we dominate this particular ground and the entire Guma local government area with aggressive patrols, with day and night ambushes that have deterred the bandits from coming close. I'll just give, and I want to tell you that we are actually collaborating with them. In fact, because of that collaboration, we just arrested one criminal yesterday who crossed from Away local government. He is actually from Kiana, but he crossed from Away local government to attack some communities around Benue State. So, because of that collaboration, they were able to inform us that this person is on their watch list, and they had information that he has moved to Benue State. And then we went towards the direction and were able to arrest the culprits. And I believe strongly that he is going to be charged with the court as soon as possible. So that collaboration is there. However, the terrain, you can see while you are coming in how difficult these communities that they are hibernating are border communities, and most of them are actually deserted. So it's not as if the people are really taking that as, and they are mobile. They are not in one particular place, like establishing a camp. What they do is they hit here, the next day you are going there. By the time the people are looking for them in Nasarawa State, they move into Benue State. As we push them from this way, they move back to Nasarawa. Border communities, deserted communities, these are places. So it's not as if the people from Nasarawa are not pushing. They are also pushing very, very hard. But some of this terrain, the part that the people are hibernating, is actually difficult to reach. For instance, last week I was on patrol going to Nasarawa from a place called Ukbam. And on my way, getting close to Kuduku, there was a river line that I could not cross because I wanted to get to Kuduku, where we have the border between Nasarawa and Benue State. But the river line could not allow me to cross. So that is how difficult the terrain is. So we are working closely. The officer in Kiana is working closely. In fact, it's as a result of that collaboration that Yelwata can never be attacked now because they are collaborating, and because of that, the officer gives my officer information and they act on that. In fact, there was somebody that was kidnapped in Kiana local government area, and we had to move from Yelwata to go and rescue the kidnapped victim. So that
The commander added that close collaboration with sister units in Nasarawa, as well as strong intelligence sharing with local hunters, community leaders and farmers has led to the arrest, disrupted hit-and-run attacks and improved early warning across difficult terrains. Lieutenant Colonel Otobo attributed the operational success to sustained logistical welfare and moral support from the Chief of the Army Staff, noting that civilian movement and farming activities have resumed along previously impassable routes.
that come from these 3 local governments. So far, the information we get is that because of the Coas Intervention Battalion 11, they are scared of moving in. So what they do now is they send in maybe 2 or 3 bandits, hit the farmers, and then run back. And we are also coming up with plans to see that we lay ambushes along suspected routes where they come in. Now, coming to the issue of the locals, some of the communities as we are coming, they are still abandoned. The reason is not because of security. The reason is because when we came in, it was at the peak of the planting season, and most of them did not plant as a result of the security challenges. So now they are having issues with coming and not having what to eat. So that is the challenge they are having. But if you look at, while going, you can take a look, you'll see most of these communities are beginning to clear their communities in preparation for the next farming season. Whatever support that the state government is supporting the operations comes from the appropriate superior authority. So it doesn't come directly to the units on the ground. And the issue of the road, I'm aware that the government sent some engineers to come and assess the road. I think they actually started the road, but because of security challenges, it was put on hold. So now that we are here and we have achieved this level of security, I think some engineers came, they visited this same place, that they want to come back, but that is left with the government. We have nothing to do with that.
The military high command assures residents that troops will sustain. The Nigerian military has declared that the reign of terror by notorious bandit kingpin Bello Turji is nearing its end as troops intensify coordinated operation across the northwest, just as Federal High Court in Abuja issued a bench warrant for his arrest. The theater commander Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fasanyama, Major General Wara Bello Idris gave the assurance while receiving defense correspondents during an operational tour of the region led by Leader Commander Godwin Egbunu. Let's take a look at the report. The theater commander, Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fasanyama, Major General Bello Idris says troops under Operation Fasanyama have sustained intelligence-driven offensives, degrading bandit strongholds, cutting off logistics routes, and neutralizing key collaborators in close synergy with other security agencies to attack and apprehend wanted criminals. He disclosed that recent operations have resulted in the recovery of arms and ammunition, destruction of bandit camps, and restoration of free movement along previously threatened routes, significantly weakening the operational capacity of Turji network. The theater commander stressed that the armed forces are not focused on containment, but on the total eradication of terrorist elements, reaffirming the military to resolve to deploy all available manpower and equipment to permanently end insecurity in the region.
Even based on the most current intelligence received, Bello Turji, Gwaska and Karami are currently in confusion and panic. This is because of the intensity of our current operations. They are relocating after every few hours, every few days.
The theater commander explained that the Northwest Theater is structured into multiple operational sectors, covering Kaduna, Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, Niger, and part of Kebbi State, with troops conducting continuous operations including forest clearance, pursuit of fleeing terrorists, securing supply routes, and targeted rescue mission, including the recent operations at the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Kebbi State. Major General Idris also dismissed reports alleging the release of 70 terrorists, describing them as false and misleading, adding that no such directive exists. He therefore called on the media to remain partner in national security by disseminating verified information, countering misinformation, and strengthening public confidence in the armed forces.
A few days ago, through human intelligence, along with the technology available to us, we were able to arrest 3 major logistics suppliers. Currently, they are with us for further processing.
The theater commander reaffirmed the armed forces' commitment to professionalism, transparency, and their constitutional responsibility to restore lasting peace and stability in the Northwest across the country. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News. All right, let's take a quick short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Stay with us.
Introducing Security Matters. It's a program that provides a robust and reliable security solution that empowers individuals and businesses to navigate the digital world with confidence. Join Kike Lomo Okeri on Global Television as she brings you happenings in Nigeria's security organizations.
Welcome back. You're still watching Security Matters, where we continue to track the effort of the Nigerian military and its sister agencies in safeguarding lives and properties across the country. Our focus remains on decisive operations and measurable gains against insecurity nationwide. The Nigerian Army says sustained military operations have significantly weakened bandit and terrorist activities in Zamfara State, restoring confidence to residents and road users across the state. The commander of 1 Brigade, Nigerian Army Gusau, Brigadier General Mustafa Jimo, disclosed this during the 2025 West African Social Activities held at the brigade headquarters in Gusau. Let's take a listen at the report.
The 2025 West Africa Social Activities provided a platform for strengthening civil-military relations, bringing together soldiers, their families, and members of the host community in an atmosphere of unity and peace. The event featured vibrant cultural displays by various ethnic groups, including Igbo, Hausa Fulani, Yoruba, and Tiv, celebrating Nigeria's diversity and shared heritage. The commander of 1 Brigade, Brigadier General Mustafa Jimo, described the gathering as an opportunity to foster harmony between the military and civilians, while also boosting troop morale. Addressing journalists, the brigade commander reaffirmed that security operations have yielded tangible results, noting that incidents of banditry and terrorism have dropped significantly. He added that major highways and communities are now safer, allowing residents and commuters to move freely without fear.
The historical event we are gathered to witness this afternoon is one of the most cherished and enduring traditions in the Nigerian Army. The West African social activities date back to the era of the West African Frontier Force, when the British colonial commanders introduced a social forum into African military life. The initiative allows soldiers to showcase their rich cultural heritage, customs, and way of life.
Representing the Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal, the Commissioner for Works Lawal Barau commended officers and men of 1 Brigade under Operation Fencing Yamma for their resilience, courage, and sustained efforts in combating insecurity across the state. He assured the military of the continued support
from decisive military operations and rescued victims to sustain pressure on criminal networks and renewed community involvement in security. The message remained clear. Coordinated effort by the Nigerian military and sister agencies and local stakeholders are yielding measurable gains across the country. As operation continues nationwide, authorities assure that professionalism, vigilance, and public cooperation will remain key to consolidating peace and safeguarding lives and properties. Thank you for watching Security Matters. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG. Till I come your way again, I am Kike Lomo Okeri. I celebrate you all.
Introducing Security Matters. It's a program that provides a robust and reliable security solution that empowers individuals and businesses to navigate the digital world with confidence. Join Kike Lomo Okeri on Global Television as she brings you happenings in Nigeria's security organizations.